Eli joku hullu on tosiaan antanut Dominationille tällä kertaa luvan tulla julkisille paikoille tekemään haastatteluja. Me haastatellaan ruotsalaista bändiä Sparzanzaa ja tässä on 2 tyyppiä bändistä mun haastateltavana. Hello guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is going to be a perfect display of very lazy journalism. Where is your band name from?
Oh, the band name is from an old movie, a blaxploitation movie. It's a name of some pimp. It was a character in the movie. It was the old singer who saw the movie and he wrote the name down and he misspelled it, so it became Sparzanza instead of whatever the guy's name was.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Good. So maybe, well, I didn't know that, so maybe it was good that I asked the question. The new album came out here on April 8th in Voodoo Veritas. And when you record, how many bad ideas are usually presented to you? That just bad ideas that never make the cut. Were there a lot in this case?
Well, yeah. This time when we wrote the songs on this album, we didn't spend much time in the rehearsal room and writing them as a band, playing them live. We sat in different studios, in our home studios, and wrote them down. And of course there are a lot of shit that you never even present to your bandmates.
Yeah.
But we came up with about, I think, 13, 14 songs, maybe even 15 songs that were pretty good, and I think only like 2 or 3 didn't make it to the studio.
Oh.
So of course there's a lot of bad material, but most of it is very good.
It's very good.
Of course.
So, like I said, the album is called Voodoo Veritas. So, if you would have a voodoo doll, and you could decide who it would represent, who would you want to be your voodoo doll so you could put pins into? Me! That would be a pretty awesome voodoo doll. You're not the only one who would want that either, so...
There's too many bad people out there, so...
Oh, you would need like a voodoo doll.
Voodoo army.
Voodoo Army. Well, maybe George Bush.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
You could use one.
Yeah.
So, David has left your band and joined Mustache. How does the new lineup? How does it feel? How is the new guitarist?
It feels great with Magnus in the band because everything we knew him for a long time, so it feels natural for us.
Right. You agree?
Yeah, of course. He's a good friend, and he's an amazing guitar player.
Yeah. Right.
I played with him in a couple of bands before, so I knew that he was good. And
We
he's
have fun together.
Okay. Well,
and he has Finnish ancestors.
oh. Well, yeah, Eronen. Eronen, I was like,
So
that's a Finnish person.
He feels like home. He's probably gonna stay here.
He's not going back to Sweden. So I read your blog on the website, and there was this part about illegal file sharing. And I just actually also read online that the Pirate Bay guys actually got jail time for a year and had to pay 3 million euros in damages. That's heavy. What is your stand now when you hear this kind of verdict and just your stand on downloading?
Well, as you might have read in the blog, I think that it's the technique is amazing for you to share, be able to share your music and be able to give it away for free if you want to. But if you don't want to, then there's no option right now, because someone takes it and puts it on Pirate Bay anyway, and then you lost control. That's what I don't like. So up yours, Pirate Bay.
Saves you right. I mean, have you ever illegally downloaded anything yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's true how you mentioned that after the product is out, you can't try to get it back. You can't do anything, and you lose control over your own product.
Yeah, and we actually actually for me it was when we recorded the last album and we released the last album, Banish of the Light. We did it on our own label, and before that I was like, well, what's Metallica gonna do?
Yeah.
They got enough money as it is. And then I noticed, even before the album was released, some either if it was a journalist or someone has put it out on Pirate Bay, some promo copy or something.
Yeah.
And it was actually downloaded 2,000 times on Pirate Bay before it even was released. And then you think a bit, man, if half of those people would have bought the album instead, it would be a lot of money to us. And running your own label is hard.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good example because it's a very concrete example for people. Because for Metallica, it doesn't make a difference. It's a huge band, or even like Nine Inch Nails or whatever. They can put out music and not necessarily make the same amount of money that, well, whatever amount of money. But with smaller bands, it's very much, that's 2,000 album record sales away from the food on your table.
Exactly.
It's a very good example. What are the rock and roll dreams of a band that's from Hammarö? Have you thrown TV sets? Have you destroyed your hotel room in this hotel already?
Yeah, we had to change room now because we crashed the first.
Yeah, I figured it's already destroyed.
But they deserved it because there was no coffee in our room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they locked the minibar.
No. Yes. No.
What's that? Have to bring your own beer.
So, but when growing up in a smaller town, and well, Sweden is known for a lot of hard rock and metal and whatnot, so that's not really that big of a thing. But what are the dreams like when you're just starting out back home? Is it like you're realistic? I want to play with whoever on this huge stage, or is it more like I just want to make it to Stockholm and maybe from there?
From the beginning, it was for me. I wanted to play in arenas and the big thing,
Right.
of course.
Yeah, for me too. And get the girls. That's why you start.
You're well on your way because you're on a Finnish mini tour right now, and you're also going to go to Tallinn for one show. What are your expectations for the little tour over here?
We think it's going to be a blast here because the Finnish people are crazy. They are very great. So I think I know it's going to be perfect here.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially, it's going to be fun tonight because we have the pro wrestlers.
Yeah,
It's gonna do some pro wrestling tonight. And I'm just curious, who decides who wins these things? You know, because it's just the spectacle, a theater
You
show.
want to know the behind the scenes.
It's not for
Is
real.
it?
It's not for real.
Okay.
See, this is news for you.
Aha, shit.
So I have to figure out who is the man behind him. You know, I mean, you're going to win tonight. Or do they do some kind of lottery?
Maybe the band gets to decide. Just I'll make a few phone calls. All right, thank you so much, and have a great Finnish tour.
Thank you.
Don't get into trouble. Kiitos. Thank you.